Well, I failed to check the Rangers score, so.
4-0.
Good.
The chaplain's in, so Pullen had.
All right. All right, so we're out of exec session, and so, action coming out of exec session, I will request a motion to authorize the president to seek out and hire a general manager candidate.
Make a motion.
Speak up, please.
All right, so I've got a motion and a second to seek out and hire a general manager candidate. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. All right. So that brings us to board member comments. Starting here, Lowell, you have any comments?
Any comments, Laura?
All right. Steve, you want anything? No? All right, so that brings it to me, and I'll give my president's comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, members of the RCH Water Supply Corporation, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you and express my gratitude for your presence at this important meeting. Delighted to share with you the tremendous progress we've made since our last board meeting, and your commitment and dedication have been instrumental in these positive developments. I also want to express our gratitude for your patience as we navigate through these significant changes. Rest assured, we remain steadfast in our commitment to transparency, and in this spirit, I'd like to share the following with you. First and foremost, I'd like to announce that despite the termination of the Aqua purchase agreement, in accordance with the Aqua Services Agreement, Aqua will continue to provide services for the next 60 days, at which point our relationship with Aqua will completely terminate. This 60-day transition will ensure a smooth handover of responsibilities and also ensure a smooth continuity of our water supply services. I must also bring to your attention, as we kind of talked about earlier, an important update regarding our invoicing process. Unfortunately, Aqua has identified an error in their calculations on the last invoices that were sent. This resulted in the usage volumes being off by a factor of 10. We have been told that the revised invoices, along with a letter explaining this issue, are scheduled to be sent out this week. Your understanding during this process is greatly appreciated, and should you have any questions or concerns regarding the revised invoices, please feel free to contact and call Aqua directly. They are ready and willing to assist with any inquiries. I'm also thrilled to inform you that we are making significant progress in our water management efforts. So we're moving from our previous stage 5 water restrictions to a more favorable modified stage 3, consistent with the drought contingency plan that we just approved. Assuming continued compliance from all of our valued members, we plan to eventually transition to a state of no restrictions, and I want to emphasize that these improvements are a direct result of the dedicated conservation efforts of our members, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for your contribution in this positive change. One of the most significant developments is the resolution we have reached with Mayor Short and McLendon-Chisholm City Council. They have agreed to halt their hostile bid to take over RCH, marking a pivotal moment in our journey towards unity and progress. It's time to put aside the acrimony and move forward for the best interests of all RCH members, both within the town borders and in the ETJ. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Mayor Short for his dedication in fighting for a constructive solution and his steadfast leadership throughout this process. Under this agreement, RCH will hire a general manager and establish RCH as a true water supply corporation. And the new general manager will have the responsibility to hire the necessary staff, and we're confident that this can be accomplished by the end of the 60-day Aqua transition period. I'm also delighted to share with you that we've made significant strides in our planned connection with the North Texas Municipal Water District. The take point and pump station designs for RCH have received approval from the North Texas engineers, and we have commenced the acquisition of necessary easements. These developments are vital steps toward ensuring a stable and secure water supply for our community. Lastly, I'd like to provide an update on the Highway 205 relocation project. The majority of those easements have been acquired successfully. However, it's important to note that TxDOT has not yet acquired all of their easements. So until TxDOT completes their process, our ability to acquire those easements, the remaining easements, is on hold. The engineering work for this project is finalized for most areas, but remains pending for those that are still affected. So once TxDOT is finished with theirs, we'll be ready to go. In closing, Again, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your unwavering support as we diligently work to rebuild RCH for a brighter future. Your commitment to our shared goals is truly commendable, and together we will continue to make meaningful progress. Thank you very much. All right, so with that, we're moving to our open forum for member comments. Steve, I'm sorry if you don't guess actually not being the timekeeper.
Yeah.
All right, and we've got microphones here, so first on the list is Adrienne Balkum.
Adrienne Balkum, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of McLendon-Chisholm. I'm here to inform you publicly that the City of McLendon-Chisholm filed an application to obtain or amend a CCN under Water Code Section 13.255 on Friday, September 29, 2023 with the Public Utility Commission of Texas. Documents sent out by certified mail to RCH as is required by statute by our water attorney, Emily Rogers. The right-of-way ordinance, which was passed on August 8, 2023, was also sent by certified mail and our City Secretary has a receipt of August 14th that it was received and signed. On September 6, 2023, there was a High Point SUD special board meeting where Conrad, the city administrator, and I presented the right-of-way ordinance. It went very well, and it will go on their next regular scheduled board meeting in October. On September 27th, there was a Blackland Water Supply Corporation board meeting that included on their agenda the right-of-way ordinance. Conrad, the city administrator, and I also attended that meeting where we answered many of their questions and concerns. That agreement has a couple of minor changes and the board approved it. On September 21st, 2023, Mr. David Naylor went to a HOA meeting where he answered questions to attendees. I took the liberty of writing out a transcript and sent it to Blackland and High Point SUD. There's quite a bit of information Mr. Naylor shared that I'm stating is quite misleading. One of the topics that he started talking about was in regard to the contract agreements. And sorry, let me talk. I came on in April. I was elected on March 29th. Within that first week, I met with North Texas. I met folks with McLendon-Chisholm and folks from Blackland. I met with the city of Rockwall, trying to get my feet wet, literally, no pun intended, figured out what is going on. I actually was having discussions with Blackland as some options with them. And then when the city approved the agreement that they sent over, I met with Adrienne and I told her, look, here are some things, and I met with Conrad that I would like to see for us to be able to do. Those weren't addressed. I get a contract with the city of McLendon-Chisholm that has been approved by the city council. It's not a good contract for RCH standpoint. I'm under no obligation to present to the RCH board. To me, you negotiate the contract first, and then you present it to the respective parties for approval.
That's 2 minutes.
I have no obligation to bring it to the board. Just because someone presents an agreement, I don't have to present it to the board. It's not worth interest.
She can have mine.
Then we have a discussion, and I don't have to put it before the board. David Naylor. You were asked by Trudy Westner, what part did you not care for?
She can have mine.
I communicated that. I told them there is no protections of outside the city limits. There's no commitment.
She can have mine.
There's no commitment that you are going to pass the budget. Commit to the infrastructure that you need to commit to. There's also some obligations that RCH had committed to provide things that we could not provide. I'm not interested in signing a document that we are going to violation by day one. And you said that you spoke with Conrad and insinuated me. Here's the problem, Mr. Naylor. Your statements are incorrect.
You can have my 2 minutes.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can't have the 2 minutes. Don't do that.
8.1 entire agreement. The agreement can be amended or modified only
That's
by written
rude.
agreement executed by RCH and McLendon. 8.13 modification, assignment, and benefit. The agreement shall be subject to change or modification at any time, but only with the mutual written consent all of the parties into. This agreement shall not be signable by either party, hereto without the prior written consent of the other party here. Such consent to not be unreasonably withheld, conditioned, or delayed. 8.15 further assurances. Each signatory party agrees to execute and deliver any additional documents and instruments and to perform any additional acts necessary or appropriate to perform the terms, provisions, and conditions of this agreement and all transactions contemplated by the agreement, included but not limited to acquiring easements or rights-of-way necessary to operate the utility system and to complete the contemplated. All the exhibits were pertaining to the tangible and intangible properties such as system maps, customer member lists, backflow reports, field operator reports, project files, purchase and sales records, personnel and independent contractor records, invoices, environmental control records, maintenance records, operating, management manuals, computer systems, accounting records, etc. The interim operations and management agreement that was offered by RCH May 24th. Write that first paragraph with the recitals.
Joanne, thank you.
I am disgusted with what I just heard. I can't hear what she's saying. I don't care. I would have given her my time. I would have given her my time. And I don't understand what's going on. Every time that I come here, there's people that cut people off, and that's not, and we don't get any answers. We've been told by this board when we've had questions week after week that they would give us our answers in writing. I've heard nothing. I've heard nothing. Yes.
More than once I've written to them and not gotten no response.
Right. So, I mean, I don't understand what's going on, and I wanted to hear. I would gladly give her my time, but it's like it's a free for all, and everybody's yelling.
Well, maybe she'll give you a copy of it and you can read it.
Yeah, they usually,
Well,
That would be a great
It's
idea,
been
give
on-
everybody a copy.
it's been out there.
I'm sorry.
And the other thing, the other question I have is repeatedly I've gone to these meetings and people have gotten up and asked for a later time so that people that work could come to the meetings. We never gotten an answer why it has to be held at 4 o'clock and not like at 6 o'clock. So those are my questions, and I guess my time's up.
It is.
Thank you. Marilyn McCoy. Renee Warren, sorry.
In regard to the recent audit, when records that belong to RCH were not turned over by HTO Services, why wasn't there any legal action taken to require HTO Services to surrender all documents? A subpoena should have been issued to make this happen, and it wasn't. I'm sure this cost us more money in auditing hours. According to the audit certificates of deposit information is missing. This is very concerning. The board has a fiduciary responsibility for the missing money. What action is being taken to locate the missing funds?
Thank you. Michael Easter.
Thank you, board. Thank you, Mr. President Naylor. I'd like to piggyback on what she said over here. Those records that are missing are ours, they're not yours. And we want to know what's in them. I'm very concerned about this lack of curiosity. Where is it at? We want to know what's going on. What's going on with looking at H2O and what they're doing? Is there any financial shenanigans that are ongoing? These are questions that I think a lot of us have been worried about. And I'm just stunned that no one seems to give a rat's rear end about where these are at. And if you do, it hasn't been disclosed to us, and so it seems that there's a problem. And so I'm hoping that we can resolve this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Sherry London.
Okay, I would like to echo, and I think I've already done this in writing to you, that I am concerned also with the lack of the records. However, I appreciate the board's priority in securing a water supply first. I'm very gratified to hear of your efforts with North Texas Municipal Water District. I did do a public info request of both the correspondence between y'all and McLendon-Chisholm and North Texas so that I could see what communication has been going back and forth. And I thank you for updating us on what's been happening. The record does show that for many months, in fact, since the day that you were voted in as a board member, that you've been in frequent communication with them, that your engineers have gotten with them, that you've got a water line alignment, and that you're working on the land acquisitions for that as well. So I appreciate everybody else being up to date on what I already saw in those records. And so please keep that kind of communication going, because I think it is critical for people to understand what you're doing so that they can have confidence in the board, including the financial records that the others have mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeffrey Kemp.
Jeffrey Kemp, High Point Ranch. First, I just wanted to say thank you to the new board and the new direction that you guys have taken. I know there's been a lot of talk and a lot of people still want to live in the past, and there's been problems in the past, but it's been obvious that within the last 5 to 6 months that there's been a lot of progress made, and I appreciate that progress being made. I would hope that the bitterness that has hounded this community would drop, and that the city and the RCH would move forward together, and that we get this resolved faster, because obviously RCH is in a much better position to get us water years ahead of the city, and we don't need to be wasting money on legal fees that both, especially for those that live inside the city limits, that would have to pay both sides of the fees. Nor do we need to be having the city have to pay for a system that RCH members, which all of us are, buy it again. So I truly appreciate what you guys have done, and I'm looking forward to you guys coming up with short-term and long-term solutions and continued progress. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben Johnson, I think is it Michael Johnson? Anyways, I guess I don't see him, so. All right, Tammy Bowers. Okay. All right, that then brings us. Yep, that's it. So with that, see, it is 4:48, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make motion. Second.
All right. All in favor?
All right.
All right, thank you, this meeting's adjourned.